40. So I would say 35 to 33 minutes for typing, 6 minutes for reading, phrasing, and structuring, like making a plan how to go about it when you read the prompt, and then start typing. So that's about the first point. Point number two, when you practice, don't students, what they are doing sometimes, they practice with writing and they start, and when they go for a test, they go for typing. It takes them time. So you should initially, when you practice, when you do your practice, you should be used to practicing with the typing only. Second point is thesis. Now, if I talk about thesis, it should be loud and clear in the first paragraph itself. That will definitely fetch you good scores. Talking about the main idea. So, as we have mostly learned, capturing the main idea, essence of your argument. Always have a thesis statements. It's something graders can easily spot and reward you for catchy scores. So a grader should be able to grasp your stance on the issue by reading those theses. Immediately when he reads the introduction, he should get impressed. So now the effective way, introduction and conclusion will definitely get you marks. Moving on to point number 3, that's organization and structure. How is it divided in each paragraph? It's the 5-paragraph essay. So when you talk about 5 paragraphs, that means there has to be an idea, there has to be a purpose that you're serving in each paragraph, and what are you supposed to cover in each paragraph? We'll cover that with next chapter. Don't make the evaluator keep guessing that what are you talking about. Don't beat around the bush. ACT has this benefit that here you're a free bird. You can write, it's going to be a one-sided argument. So you can just go up with a formal language and be expressive. So being expressive is called ACT essay. Point number 4, vocabulary. You're supposed to inject sophisticated words, fancy good word choice. 7-8 words in one essay, not one paragraph, are essential. So stay away from slang language. Cram 15-20 college level words from Google and inject it deliberately in your essay that matches with the tone and emotions of the language you use to get you good grades. Point number 5, sentence variety. So making good writers use a mix of simple and complex sentences. Adding a tool, comma, would help you to make your sentence understandable and longer. Point number 6, transitional words. Transitional words are a weapon that has to be added in the beginning of the sentence. 4 to 5 words in one essay are more than sufficient. Words like consequently, in conclusion to, in fact, moreover. So these words gives us strength and gives a formal, it actually, so your sentence, the rhythm and structure between your ideas, that adds it on to. Glue between your ideas, actually. That's for this chapter. Now we move on to the essay template. So now we discuss the body paragraphs and what are you supposed to do. That's one frequent question students ask us, that what are we supposed to do in each body paragraph. As we discussed, introduction. So examples are heart of ACT essay. So you must remember, you must take a pre-prepared template which you can use for any essay. That's quite helpful. So how you organize is very, very important. So when I talk about the first paragraph, that means the paragraph introduction part, introduction statement, thesis, very loud and clear and very precise. So if you just Google and look at sample essays, you will notice that introduction and conclusion is just to the point. No details. What do you want to say in a nutshell is called the introduction. So moving on from introduction to the body paragraph 1. So body paragraph 1 means describing your thesis. 5-6 lines each paragraph, more than sufficient. So examples, reasoning, specific relevant information, that covers the first body paragraph. Moving on to body paragraph 2, continuing with the support of the previous thesis that we provide in second. Example reasoning, including relevant information. So that supports the previous paragraph. Moving on, then you have the third paragraph. Third paragraph will include how your thesis compares and contrast, obviously strengthening your point that weakens the perspective, inside information not that's been related to the example, persuasive examples, relevant information that's required. Then you have the conclusion. So when I talk about the conclusion, always remember recap of your thesis statement. That was the introduction. Recap how how your thesis compares and contrasts with perspectives. There are three types of perspectives which we are going to discuss. So you're supposed to, you can use any perspective in any order. There's one frequent question about it. So you have to support one of the perspective. You have to speak. You're not supposed to go against it. Next two, you can neutralize. You can just make a neutral statement. One, you have to completely support. So it should very clearly, the perspective that you support should be very clearly stated. That it should not, examiner should not keep, just keeping guessing that which one are you supporting. So it should be very, very clear with your argument. So conclusion, one more thing I would like to say, once you're left with 2, 3, 4 minutes, stop everything and start concluding. If it's not concluded well, your grades will directly get affected. Examples are the key for conclusion that will definitely fetch you good scores. So one thing, read the 3 perspectives, very important. Get to the core issue, extremely important. Choose one of the 3 perspectives to be your own stance, typically the one that you have most examples to support with. I told you examples are the key. So the one you can support maximum with the examples with the one that'll fetch you scores. So keep in mind, you only need 2 good examples. Those are more than sufficient. 2 good examples are more than sufficient for ACT essay. Come up with 2 examples you'll use to support for your chosen, whatever you've opted for, whatever perspective. So then you can draw, and then obviously a pre-prepared example is obviously very, very beneficial for students. Always, always, always have a conclusion. So your grades will get affected if it's not concluded well. Now I'll give you a few examples of some versatile essay examples. First of all, I would like to tell you well thought example, pre-prepared example. One thing that often students use is not supposed to be used is no moms and dads and informal words, no aunts. So what you can use is pop stars, models, writers and authors. You can use website examples, Airbnb, Amazon, Google. Then a very common and a very number one example these days in US is obesity. So obesity, imbalancing calories, sugary food, staying indoors, processed high protein food. This is one example students use. If you add on some information that's actually not true, it doesn't matter, but if it sounds good, you've used it in a proper way, it's completely okay. Loneliness in America is huge in US, so tripled over the years. That's another example. Global warming, climate change, harmful effects worldwide is another example that we use. STEM education, gender gap, and students' loan debt crisis, expensive to study in US, financial burdens, of course. These are a few examples, and you can Google a lot of examples you'll find, and you can take some information and inject in your essay. Now, getting to the core issue. If the core issue is not identified, so the core issue must be identified and stated in the first paragraph. That's the thesis statement. One thing I would like to tell you, too many students make this mistake of choosing examples that don't actually support the main arguments. This is one common mistake. The problem is that they do not, they don't know what they're arguing all about at the first place. So breaking the prompt into the core issue will help you on the track and ensure your examples are actually relevant. That means based on the argument that you're making. So your examples are better supported, suited to an whatever side that you're opposed to on the another perspective. One thing, the topic solves a problem that happens to be one of your example. So the prompt, the central issue is very, very essential. So use personal experience. Students often ask me, can I use my personal experience? So you can definitely use your personal experience, get you high scores with good word choice, logic based. It has to be a logic based essay. You should remember one thing, that the introduction and conclusion would largely stay the same, and you would just have reasoning rather than other examples supported in the body paragraphs. Your paper will be evaluated for good colleges, so you have to use good language and good vocabulary, and word choice has to be very, very properly injected. No slang languages to be there. So one thing, the core issue, choose a perspective, prepared examples, logic based essay. That's how we follow to get marks, that because our application is being evaluated from the top schools. Now 8 mistakes that students often make. Not addressing the issue is absolute disastrous. It will definitely minus your scores. Examples aren't specific to the related topic. So places, events, date, logic, logos has to be added. Don't be repetitive. That will not fetch you scores, just to increase the length. So the one mistake is a bit different than staying from the core issue, is you can have very relevant examples addressed to the core issue, develop your perspective. But if you aren't related to, what's back to your perspective, the reader may be left wondering. He'll just keep guessing what you have written about everything. So how you support your example is very, very important. So another mistake students often make is that they actually use this. They actually state the same thing, getting repetitive. A lot of essays they start repeating, and they tell me I've written a lot. Writing a lot is not the thing. Specific examples, stating, although both your examples should support your argument, you want the second example to add on your argument rather than repeating it. So think of an example as layers. So the second layer should bring up something new, something different that wasn't mentioned in the first layer. That's how you differentiate. So no conclusion, no marks. Not typing fast enough, with 4 to 5 practice tests, you'll be absolutely prepared. And one thing, if you talk about your perspective can be in full agreement with any of the others, and in partial agreement. So wholly different, partial different, but you need to have only one perspective that you need to support completely to with the examples. So the best way to make sure your essay has a perspective is to write clear thesis statements of your view. That will support and make your point clear to the evaluator. So be clear, loud, and expressive. Don't keep the examiner guessing. Support your ideas. Always remember, it's like a school debate, one-sided argument. If I compare it with SAT essay, you're very restricted there. You can't agree or disagree. Here you are like a free bird, having good choice of words. So be yourself, one-sided argument, me, myself. No compromise on that. Now, when I come back to those 4 elements that I started with, what are you supposed to cover in those 4 elements? Point number 1, ideas and analysis. So when I talk about ideas and analysis, make it clear, very clear, that what is your perspective related to at least one perspective. The main thing is that you want to show that you understand as many sides of the issues as possible. You can do this by discussing those sides, why people might have opted for this issue, what are the opinions, logical, absolute logos based. So it's really fine that if even if you copy, students ask me, it's really fine if you copy the exact word from the prompt into the thesis statement. It will not get you minus score. So it's okay to do completely copy that. So make it obvious which side you are arguing. Very important. If you if it's very very great to argue on one side in terms of a larger debate, that covers idea and analysis. Next point that you will get grades on: development and support. So when I talk about development and support, you need to fully explain every point you make. You can compare with another perspective. So make sure to either explain your thinking and reasoning on specific examples to illustrate your point. So that covers development and supporting. Point number 3, organization. So a 12 scoring essay exhibits a skillful organizational strategy. So transitions between and within the paragraph will definitely strengthen the relationship among the ideas. So the introduction and conclusion should make this, some general same points. It's like the restatement of the thesis with the conclusion. Point number 4, language use. Now, importantly, enhance the argument. Word choice is skillful and very, very precise. So, sentence structure are consistently varied and clear. So, stylistic choice, advanced use of vocabulary. So, make sure that your sentences are absolutely clear. So, hopefully, in the end, once you have those 2-4 minutes, I always suggest students to read it over again, and just, you might find some mistakes that you can definitely correct on. So check your essay, keep 2 minutes, 3 minutes at the end to recheck your essay. So make sure that your introduction and conclusion matches the statement. You actually have to repeat the introduction part, the restatement, but by a little rephrasing, maybe some different words. So use of language enhances the argument, and word choice has to be absolutely skillful and precise. So now that's it from my side. Please, this is an opportunity for you to show your best work. So please practice at least 4 to 5 essays. Over to you, sir.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. That was really a wonderful session. It was really very much in detail and a step by step. So I guess students are much more clearer about how to prepare for their essays. What are the things they can consider? So thank you a lot, ma'am. I would just take you through a few questions. So, uh, how many words we should know, ma'am? Like, is there any recommendation of website or anything for vocabulary?
Vocabulary is a vocabulary, enhancing vocabulary. Just type Google, you have SAT, ACT vocabulary words. You can cram 15, 20 words to inject in your essay.
Okay. Are the topics been listed by the ACT examiners itself, or is it like completely free to us?
No, it's the examiners, the evaluators only. This board, college board will set the topics for you. And they are very recent topics that has been uploaded. You could just check it, Google it. You'll have good knowledge about that.
Okay. And lastly, like, what could be a good reference book for, like, the points you mentioned? Like, they could refer it as an example.
You can refer to Princeton. You can go to Khan Academy to check on details. Rest, keep in mind the time limit. Keep in mind you can watch my video again. Those points, those are the only points that the evaluator is asking for a perfect 12 essay. So if you get a 10, no university will leave you. 10, 11, 12 is considered a good score. So you can watch this video. The points have already been covered that the evaluator needs for a perfect essay.
Okay, ma'am. It was absolutely a fantastic session, ma'am. We got to know these points. I would strongly recommend everyone to go through this video again on our YouTube channel. Try to note down the points and try to work one on one on these points. So stay tuned for the next session, which is going to be with Abhinav sir, and he will be sharing some ACD tips. Thank you, Shafali ma'am, once again for
Thank you.
all
Thank
your
you for having me.